Hello, everyone, and welcome to Awake. My name is Judith, and I am your spiritual psychologist. Here in Awake, we talk about our spirituality to embody the God within and not the God in the sky. You are gods having a human experience. So, until we align with that concept or principle, they will only be controlled and be dominated by religion and other people. So today's topic is about alchemy, the modern day occult philosophy. Before I delve into the topic, I would like to seize this opportunity to announce the next draft that is coming up in May 3rd, 2025. And it is the Atlantic zone that is hosting this draft. Yes, Atlantic zone, you have four counties under the Atlantic zone. You have Meme, you have Fako, you have Kupe and Dian County. Yes, four counties. And we are going to the Atlantic zone for this federal draft. So far, we've been doing well, so well in the last two drafts. So keep up the spirit, keep up the spirit. Um, Revolutions are fought with money. Beside the great and marvelous job that our ASA they are doing at the home front, we at the diaspora we are here to support financially and morally and everything that we got to make sure we free homeland so we can have a home of our own. You see what is happening in the um, international stage. There's a lot of chaos going on. So it is time that we think about our own home, like seriously, because where we are, it is not our home. They can pick you up and ship you off at any time. So this should be taken seriously. For those of you who are standing on the fence, it is time to have a rethink. For those who are busy trying to destroy or sabotage all the efforts of this government, the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, please go sit down and ask yourself whether you are for La Republique or for Ambazonia, because you got to choose and you got to draw a fine line. Don't put yourself out there that you're fighting for Ambazonia, but the underneath is just something else. So thank you all. Thank you for coming during this time. Thank you for watching. We are here to help us see our spiritual abilities so we can use them properly and live a better life. Most of the confusion and the distraction that is going on today is just to keep you in that place where you are powerless, where they can continue to control you and tap into your energy and do the evil that they are doing because they thrive on your ignorance. That's what the world leaders they do. Those rulers of the world who want to control everybody and put them in that cage. That is what they do. And they'll come up with all sort of strategies to keep you in that state of poverty, of lack, of fear, of disease, and all of difficulties. So you have no power to speak up, to stand up for your right. So when we see people in our struggle who are in the diaspora, that you claim to run from La Republique. That's what some of you filed asylum. that you are here because you were marginalized, you were terrorized in your own home. And today you turn around, you are working for the same La Republique. It's a shame. It's a shame. So, but whatever energy you put out there, that energy will come back to locate you. That's what they call karma. Huh? Your actions equals to reactions. It will come back to haunt you. So don't think you are delaying Amazonians, or you are enjoying your ego at this time. A day will come that the energy that you put out, that disruptive energy, it will come to locate you, because the universe has a memory. It has a mind of its own. So it registers everything. Okay? Yes, so alchemy, the modern day occult philosophy. What is alchemy? What is alchemy? Alchemy means pertaining to or having a form of chemistry. It is a historical significant practice that sought to transform base metals into gold, to discover a cure for all diseases and find a way to extend life. So this concept was used in um, ancient times, and they were trying to see how they could use these base metals like lead to transform it to gold. And now, when they succeeded, they tried to use that concept or principle to see how they can use other things like in medicine or in science to come up with other kinds of a combination of compounds or elements and see, or chemicals, how they can come up with medications, or they call it the philosophical stone, where you can just convert everything into one pill, that this pill has the potential to cure so many diseases and even prolong life. So, the alchemy of souls. Why do I bring this topic here today? I am someone who loves to watch Asian dramas, like South Korean period dramas, the Chinese period dramas. I like all those kind of dramas. That's my genre, to see how they relate with this concept, this esoteric teaching that I'm doing. Because a lot of those their dramas, they are all, you know, they all symbolize or portraying this esoteric knowledge. So until you understand this teaching, this concept, that's how you can understand the Asian period dramas. And so I am so fascinated by those period dramas. And there was one that caught my attention when it was released back in 2022. They call it Alchemy of Souls. If you are a lover of South Korean dramas, you can go Google that up. If you have Netflix, you can watch that. If you have YouTube, it is there. So, Alchemy of Souls. So, when I watched that drama, I was fascinated by the concept on how the rulers of this world, or those in high society, who today they find themselves in those fraternities or secret societies, how they are using the ones that they call the less privileged or the subhumans to enhance their lives, to, they were all struggling for mortality, or immortality rather, to see how they can extend their life to live beyond what humans have lived here on earth. So they went to that extent, and their target was humans. The humans, the underprivileged, as they call them, that they were less humans or subhumans, so they have no value in society as long as they are concerned. Are you getting where we are driving at? So people were kidnapped from their homes. People were, hijacked from wherever they are. So long as you fall under that category of today we say middle class or poor people and all of that, because they had already um, divided the society. Huh? Like what you have in India. I don't know if that is still being practiced today, the caste system, where they have categorized the social a group of the country. So it was the same thing. And so those who fall under that low income people, poor, they were the victims, and they will use them. And what did they do? They had like a chamber where they go in there, bring you, and what they do is to suck out the life essence in you. And then you see in those drama, you see the person now becomes now like a rock, a hard rock. It has transformed from a human because they've sucked out the life force in you. You are just useless. You become like a rock that they can just, So that thing, it was like I tried to relate it to this teaching. I said this look kind of what we are talking here about, this esoteric knowledge and how some people look at life. When you talk about philosophy too, huh? The study of life, how our values, our ideas, and all of that, how they shape the way we live. And when you talk of occult philosophy, occult there just means hidden spiritual, this esoteric knowledge that we are talking about. But you see, today they have twisted everything about these terminologies or words like occult, and now it has become like something that is a secret society kind of stuff, that people go and do all the bad things to other humans. That's how it has been looked upon today. So this alchemy of soul, how this concept is used today, how do we relate it to what is happening in the world today? Because every generation, they come up with either terminologies on how to govern society, how to govern their people. And I showed us last week during the presentation of the literal, the difference between a literal and esoteric teachings. I showed us a process of your thought, how your thought is being processed in your mind through manifestation. And I'm going to pull that chart again out. This is it, the 7 T's. Huh? You see, transcend, transmute, transform, transit, translate, transcribe, and transmit. These are the 7 T's that I designed to show us how our thoughts are being processed following those seven spirits. The knowledge in psychology, they call it the 7 types of thinking. You have knowledge, understanding, fear, spirit, power, counsel, and wisdom. So when you look at the alchemy, how they were trying to, those alchemists were trying to take this base metal that they considered like they were less important. Huh? They were less important, so they use it now to transform that metal to a more valuable metal called gold. So this concept, um, every society, and especially in the West, they are using this concept that they have twisted it in their own twisted way of doing things to see how to control people using this concept. The concept was meant to transform base metals like lead to gold, showing you the evolution of our emotions, our thoughts, and our feelings. But what the rulers of today and those who claim to be in those secret societies like Illuminatis and all of those other ones, a Rosicrucian order, and all the other ones that you can think of, it is just a hidden knowledge where they come up with to see how to control the human race. So they are considered as the high society members, in quote. So they are the ones that have all the hidden or secret knowledge that they can use it now instead of using it to advance our the human race or consciousness. They are using it to control the world. You see that? So they treat others as subhumans who don't deserve the right to live and benefit from their natural resources or all the resources of the state, each country has its own resources that the people are supposed to have access to. But some of these secret society members or rulers of the world, they come up with all sort of distractions to deprive other nations and other humans from the access to these natural resources and all of that stuff. So they design now this distraction that they use fake media uh, 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 outlet. They use wars as a means of distraction. They use let me see. Right. They use like foreign coalitions where they create allies who will go to do their bid, do their bidding to fight these unnecessary wars that they have created. Huh? And also they install or create puppet regimes to who are there to promote their agendas. You see, something that was supposed to be good to structure the world, to come up with ideas that will promote um, humanity or the consciousness of the human race. So we evolve from one state of consciousness to another state where we can use the quietness and the calmness to create more things that will be valuable to humanity. No, they said we are not supposed to, we are not human enough. We are not human enough to live in this space called Earth. So they come up with all these destructive ideas to keep you occupied, to keep you, distracted while they are tapping from that negative energy that you are emitting. Because take for example, if people are always at war, huh? Like Amazonia has been at war for 9 years now. Look at the state of or the standard of living of our people. Look at the whole territory of Amazonia. Is there any freedom? Can our people go to school? The children go to school? Can they even socialize like these Western countries over here who have their people doing all the things that they want, their youths doing, having access to all the resources that their nations have provided. Is it the same? No, it is not the same. So, what is it that we are doing now? Amazonians are doing this alchemy in the right way. We are transmuting those difficult memories, the destabilization that came, that occurred in 1961 when there was that fake reunion and all of that stuff. So we are doing now, we are transmuting, because when you talk of alchemy, changing those metals to more valuable metals, we are changing the narrative. You see, that's where you find transmutation. Do you see that? The second one, transmutation, transmute, because you have chosen. Transcending now is you are declaring that you are an Amazonian and that is your country, and you deserve all the rights and the freedom to live in your own country. So since we made that declaration in that was in September, was it September or October? October 1st is our declaration day, and we said we are Amazonian. We celebrated our independence, our freedom, and now we are changing that narrative. You see, everything in life, it goes through this process of our minds, even in the physical aspect, that we want to change any circumstances, any situation. It goes through this process. You cannot escape it, except, you see, like people who have chosen to do all the wrong things during this struggle, is because they were either not sincere or they are ignorant. Because you got to know who you are. That is the first step. If you know who you are, and your present reality does not match up your desired reality, then you have to work towards that, to change that. You have to change that narrative. And that's what the Amazonians are doing for 9 years now. That this is not who we are, that we have been yoking with a very dangerous enemy, La Republique, for the past 60 years. And we got to separate ourselves from that, because the alchemy too is that place of separation. Transmutation there is just what? The ability to change one form to another, to change one thought to another. For example, you have all these positive, negative thoughts bombarding your mind, but then you have to make a choice to choose which thought you want to process. Is it a negative thought? Because whatever you process, that is what you're going to experience. If you process a negative thought, then you will experience negative things, and that negative energy will attract all the negative problems or people into your life. But if you are processing a positive thought, then that positive thought now will go out there to attract. Because what are we doing? You are transmitting that positive energy to the atmosphere, to the universe. Now the universe picks on that energy, that positive energy, as a frequency, that this is what you want, and it takes it. Now it goes to look for people. The energy does that by itself. So all we need to do is to align with this divine principle, the principle of truth. So truth there is just like that, a metal, the base metal there, that you are refining it, the gold. So when you see most of your religion, they talk about gold and all of that stuff. Gold there is just symbolically represent truth. Truth has to be refined. You are standing up for truth, you need to go And for you to go to the next level, you need to sort out. That's why you have that duality: negative, positive, like, dislike, right, wrong. You got to choose there. You got to separate which thought you want to process. So the nature of the thought is what now is that transmutation. Transmutation, and an alchemist came and said, okay, we can use this thought pattern concept, and since we have seen it in how we have done to transmute this metal to turn into gold, then we can apply it to in the way we think and the way we do things. So this is a concept that has been established in us from the time you were formed in your mother's womb. That is how your thought pattern need to flow. But people with twisted mindset, people who hate humanity, people who hate the world, that they have taken upon themselves to act like they are the gods of this world, those rulers who are working against the principles of that divine nature or the God in you. So they have used this concept and twisted it, and now they go out there to terrorize everybody in the world just to fulfill their own selfish desires. So, as I said, transmutation is a mental ability to change one's thought, emotion to another, like I just gave it. It also means a base metal that is transformed into a noble metal. You see? So those alchemists, when they did that, and now you see how the concept has changed and is changing in every generation, where a few people or a group of people in a society or in the world, they are holding, they come up with that octopus system. The octopus system is eight um, types of or strategies that these rulers of the world, they have used to hold the world like this, that they are controlling. And you see that narrative, that paradigm is falling apart. Yes, it is falling apart because, like I said, they feed on your ignorance, they feed on your negative energy. So that's why they are in the business to create all these wars and distractions. And they use media to propagate all the false or fake news. So people begin to buy into those fake narrative, those lies and deception, and then you think that, oh, they are the ones who are always at the right. No, they are not. They are not. So this concept has been twisted, has been distorted, and now we see that the world today is in chaos. You can see if you're a media person, social media, huh? Things are falling apart. So many of their strategies are being exposed. It is coming to light. You see the occult now, the hidden strategy, the hidden concept that they use to yoke the world. It is falling apart. You go to entertainment industry, it is falling apart. You go to trade industry, it is falling apart. You go everywhere, even in their colonies, it is falling apart because people are waking up to the truth. People are waking up to the truth. So that's what social media has done to expose this truth, and people are seeing the reality of things. They are seeing the reality of things. And so the center, like Chino Achebe will say, things fall apart, the center can no longer hold. The thing is falling apart. It is not funny, like a house of cards. So this is the time for those who are still doubting, those who are still fearful, those who are still cunning in their ways. This is the time for you to hop in, because it will be too late for you, and shame will be your own. Oh, shame will be na your own. For she say the Amazonia where you feel say it no will ever happen. You won't only wake up one day, they say Amazonia is free. Shame could be your own. Shame could be your own. We are more than 1 million Amazonians in the diaspora. Now is the time for you to come and draft. The federal draft is going on. After the federal draft, they will go with the county draft, county by county. So you can still draft your money. It's $1,000. Draft and free your people. Free your people from this slavery. Free your people. So your children too can have that free life, that freedom to study, to express their own youthful desires, to have access to all the resources that every citizen in these developed countries are having. That is what you should be thinking about. Rather than your children running helter skelter in the street that are being targeted by flying bullets and all of that stuff, why not fight and do them this honorable, you know, a duty, your right to give them a free nation, a free country where they can express themselves freely, use their mental capacity to create things that the world has not seen. It only has to be in a calm environment. It has to happen with a calm mind. Nothing can be produced from a chaotic mind. Nothing. And that's why you see Africa for the past 60 years, they cannot produce anything. A continent that is endowed with so many gifts, so much gift and talent, but their resources are there underneath, and the land, the continent is crying, children, rise up and fight. Fight and defend your continent. Fight and defend your homeland. No, we want quick fixes. Oh, we want money here overnight, this, we want this, and we want that. And we are quick to run to other people's countries, right? But it is time our eyes are open. Our eyes are open and we have to go back home. Home is home. There is no place like home. Okay? So, what is the goal of alchemy? The goal of alchemy was to transform less valuable metals like lead into gold. So, today is the same thing, that this concept by some elites in our societies, they have twisted it to use other people. So that's why most of these rulers, they don't value life, because they have used this concept of alchemy. Say it was to transform less valuable metals. So now they have really um, brought you down to that category of a less or subhuman. Huh? So they can just unalive you anytime. They don't care. And we see that happening in Amazonia. We see that happening in a DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. We see that happening all around Africa, where they come and impose their own puppet leaders. They come and do all of that, change the constitutions, and the puppet leaders are there, very busy to even torture their own citizens. That is something that we are still trying to to unravel this mystery, how Africa became like this, how we became like this for hundreds of years. Africa had once been up there, that they rule with integrity, they rule with the concern of their people, the love for their people. But what happened down the road? That today we have become enemies to our own selves. Look at what is happening in the Sahel. This one man in the Sahel, young man, Traore, that has been targeted. How many failed assassination attempts? My goodness. So you see the concept of alchemy, how it was twisted. So now they look at this person, these three Sahel who have stood up and said, no, we're going to use our own resources to change the well-being or the lives of our people. And they are doing that. And now these rulers of the world, they look at it like, no, how dare you? You have to come under our command, under our control. So you see, you want to break away from that illusion. You want to break away from that matrix. You want to break away from that cage. They say, how dare you? How dare you? Or you have to go back in that cage. You have to go back in that prison. You have to go back there and stay there where we put you. That's where you belong. And yet, when I say here that God is within you, God is not in the sky who is coming to judge humanity and punish these evildoers. And people come and say, oh, I'm saying there is no God. I am Antichrist. I said God is within you. Your Bible said it. So if you don't understand the esoteric meaning of those scriptures, you just come and attack people. How is that God that were presented to your religion not punishing these evil people, even in your own countries? The people, the La Republic that have been killing our people, doing all of those evil. No, I have not seen God come from the sky that is coming to punish them. Huh? Our ASA, they have been fighting day in, day out to reduce the pressure. Huh? So when we talk of esoteric teaching, these are all hidden meaning to those your scriptures. Because if you want to interpret them literally, it does not make sense. It does not make sense that the God who created all things will sit there in the sky somewhere and watching other humans killing others with such impunity and unaliving them, making them to be less human or subhumans that they don't deserve to be alive or live in their own countries and think free and enjoy all the resources that the earth has provided. Then I disagree with that your Bible God, with that your religious God. I disagree with that. Because all I say, it is people who are struggling, the same humans who come up with these twisted ideas to control and subjugate other humans. That is what I say. And it takes the humans who have risen, who have awakened in that their God self, their God's knowledge in them, to see that we are created equal and we deserve the right to live. That is how I see it. And you fight for that right. You defend your right with every fiber of your being, with every atom of your being, with every cell in you. That is how you defend that. Because there is no God that is coming from the sky to do anything to humanity. So here are the 3 steps. If you are still doubting your spirituality, if you are still struggling with religion and spirituality, because the two cannot, one gives way to the other. religion gives way to spirituality. Once you are spiritually awakened, you drop religion. There is no way of you claiming you are a spiritual person in a religious setting. No, it does not happen like that. So that is the place of where transmutation, that you got to choose this, whether you are going to be a spiritual and live in that spiritual mindset, or you stay in religious mindset. And once you choose to live in your spiritual side of self or mindset, then you see all of those hidden treasures in you. They will come out. They will manifest. They will show you, whether in your dreams. And some people have the ability that they can see like this. You start seeing things. You start seeing images. You see. And from there, because what? Now you have embodied, because spirituality means you embody your spiritual self, your spiritual nature, the God within. You embody that. You cannot be spiritual and you are believing that there's a God who is coming from the sky that is going to judge humanity. No, that is a wrong teaching. That's a wrong teaching. So here are the 3 steps that you want to transcend beyond your religion, beyond your own individual self, beyond your collective ideas. You want to transcend, because spirituality now is about what? Self-initiation. And that self-initiation is where you embody the God within, that you are God. So as much as there are 3 or 4 billion people in the world today, that's how many gods there are. So when you go to some religion like Hinduism, that they believe in so many gods, they believe in so many gods, it's because of this concept. It's not that they are really actually millions and millions of gods, all of that. It's the concept that we are one but many. We have this many aspect to us. That you are God, you have a mind, and the mind there generate thoughts with the help of your God self, the divine nature in you. It influences your thoughts. And whatever you're going to produce, that manifestation now takes form or shape. So that's why we see things that have been created. Creation is just about form and shape or structure of things that were going on in our mind that originated from the consciousness of your being, which was formless. And now it went through the mind and it received enlightenment. Huh? As he received the enlightenment, he took form and shape and structure. That is how the divine nature in us works. But when your mind is blocked, when your mind is hijacked, that prevents the flow of the divine nature in us. It prevents the flow. So, here are the 3 steps. I'll show you the 3 steps that I'm going to describe here. They are all here. Transcend the ability to rise above your current reality or your beliefs and whatever, your traumas, all of that, because you have declared with that affirmation that I am God. Now you're declaring that affirmation. Now it means everything that was built here, you are rising above that. That was keeping you, the barriers, the limitations that were here, you are rising above them. So you no longer dwelling on the past, or your traumas, or your lifestyle in the past, and all of that stuff, because you are able to transform any situation, to change anything. If you were a bad person yesterday, that's why you see the president always make this call um, for people to come back to the struggle, because you can be bad yesterday and today you are awakened. It has dawned on you that what you were doing, or maybe you were misguided and all of that stuff, you can change. Change is constant. That is the only thing that is constant, that we as humans and everything, we are able to do it. You can change your situation. You can change your bad thoughts, your negative thoughts to positive. That's where the alchemy comes in, because the alchemy of souls there, the soul, I know most um, psychologists, they're thinking that the soul is the mind. The soul, no, they're thinking that the soul is the spirit, the divine essence in you. The soul there is your mind. It's a Greek word. It represents your mind. But when you are talking of the spirit, that divine nature, the divine nature controls the mind. Your thought, everything must be influenced by that divine nature. I've given us the four cardinal virtues: truth, conscience, righteousness, and justice. So everything that you're thinking, every creativity that you want, your desires, they need to align with these principles of truth, conscience, righteousness, and justice. That is how you're going to manifest a good thing that will help you and will help others. So, transcend there. When you transcend, you have made that declaration, you want change. That's where your change starts. You go now to the transmute. Transmute now is the ability to sort out, huh? That you are taking, if you have these negative or positive thoughts that are flooding your mind, and now you need to go and sort them out. Which one you want to process? What is it? You may have too many desires and things that you want to do, and they're just, you're in that state of confusion or conflict. But now you need to gather yourself to stay calm and watch which one you want to process. It is not a place of judgment. You're not judging your thoughts. You are now observing them in your own mind quietly, and you make the decision, because you are the one that has the yam and the knife. Nobody from the sky has the yam and the knife to come and tell you how to process your thoughts. You are the one, you are the architect of everything. What you have designed, your lifestyle, your whatever, you designed it. And so if you don't want it, what is happening in Amazonia, that's why we rose up in 2016, that enough is enough. That is not who we are. And for 9 years, we are still fighting, because we want to change that narrative. Okay? So it is that place now, the second place of a transmutation or transmute. They also call it a meditation. When you see people who do meditation a lot, like the Buddhists and um, the Hindu people, they like to do that their yoga, meditation a lot. It's because you're observing. You want calmness. You want peace of mind, how to process your thought, because there is too much chaos going on. And you see, that's what the alchemists were doing, how to turn this situation into something good, how to use some basic or base metals and all of that stuff, elements, to convert them now to produce something valuable. But this is what we have done and we are doing. We are transmuting the Amazonia, that we had so much corruption, chaos, and all of that stuff, the stealing of people's land. and all of that, and all the abominable acts that they are doing, we say, no, this is not us. This is not our identity. So we are transforming that. So you are separating, and you got to separate from La Republique, because that two yoke, that people that they yoke you like that, one good, evil, one is evil, as dangerous as La Republique, and then the other ones, the Amazonians, who are a very calm and hospitable people. So the thing was not, it was not adding up. 60 years, that experiment has failed. The experiment failed big time for those United Nations who were experimenting on human lives and people's countries and resources. That experiment has failed big time. So here is to everyone: you can change, you can embody your spirituality following these steps, affirmations, which is the declaration. Now you're declaring everything, the limitations, the borders, the boundaries, the walls that you have set in your life, that you cannot do this. Oh, I will not do that. We put limitations on ourselves. Now you are breaking those walls down. You are breaking those barriers. You are coming out from that prison that you put yourself. And you say, you know what? I am God. God there just means you have the ability to transform your life and live the way that you want, and a way that is honorable, and a way that is accepted by the divine principle, the God in you. That is just what God is. It's not when people they hear, oh God, I am God. No, I cannot be God. No, I cannot be. It's a concept that is enshrined in this principle, four cardinal virtues. Okay, so you do the meditation, and the next one is the visualization. So there is first affirmation, the second is meditation, where you are filtering your thoughts, you're separating your thoughts now to choose the one that you want to process. Choose the desire that you want to do, the aspirations and all of that. And then the third one is the visualization. That's where we have, you see, transformation. Huh? They say, be you transformed. You're transforming now all the things that you don't want. So when that metal, lead, was transformed to gold, you see, it has changed. Even the properties, they have changed. All the elements that were present in lead, they are no longer in the gold and all of that stuff. So you are getting now the purest form. So it's the same thing. That's why you see some cultures, um, they use like the butterfly as a symbol of their spirituality, because it gives you the four stages of a butterfly, the metamorphosis. It gives you just this, the same four cardinal virtues that I'm talking about: truth, conscience, righteousness, and justice. It's the same thing. So when they start using those symbols and spirit animals or birds, you know, um, it is just for them to find that connection or reminder that you are a spirit being, and you emanated from that spirituality or divine consciousness. So whatever you are doing need to align with those principles, because they are your um the foundational principles that you need to align and do things. So the visualization partner is how you see yourself. You see that? So the awakening starts in this place of visualization, because when you look at the affirmation meditation, that is the awareness. So most people are still stuck in that place of here, transcend and transmute. So they are confused. They don't know which one is good or which one is evil. So they keep doing, and you see them, they have this personality of doing good and evil at the same time. Huh? And then you see them like in this struggle, you see them when they exhibit those character we are shocked to realize that, oh, this person was good like this, was good like that, because they are stuck in this stage of transmutation. They cannot separate good from bad. So they keep doing good and bad things. And that a lot to it causes a lot of confusion. When a person is confused, when a person is so distorted, and when a person is hypocritical, because that's a typical form of hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is that stage of transmutation where you cannot discern right from wrong, true from false. So you're putting up this hypocritical nature, and people get confused of what your true character is. You see that? So visualization now is you have come out from that transmutation, and now you are evolving to start being responsible. You are being responsible in the things that you say or do. And so that responsibility, when we have responsible people in a society, we see that that society moves in the right direction, and people have access to the resources that are being provided to them, and they do it in a responsible way. So visualization is that place where you see yourself with that dignity and self-worth, that you are the personification of this divine being, that you're supposed to do the things that will guide humanity to the right path. So you see, spirituality is about self-initiation. It's not imitating somebody in your religion that they have presented to you. It's about you becoming that God here on earth, because that is why we came here through our parents, to experience that divinity in us, that high intelligence, high wisdom, that you, when you speak to your people, they know that what you have shared, what you have spoken, it transforms them. We are seeing that narrative is changing. Africa is rising. The people around the world are rising, and the cards are falling apart. The center is falling apart. No one to hold it. And as long as they try so hard, they want to do all of the confusion is their portion. They will never succeed, because nobody is going back. Once you are awakened, there is no return. There is no returning. You are not going back once you are awakened, because to test of that truth is a very beautiful thing. So alchemy, the modern day occult philosophy, has been twisted, and they are using it to control people, to treat others as subhumans, and which is not right. It is not right. And people who find themselves in that category, it is time to rise up and change your narrative. Speak up and do the things that you show them that you are equal to them. They are the subhumans, because a subhuman will do things that are doing like in a beast nature. They are the ones who don't know who they are. You know who you are. Stand up. Amazonians, stand up. Go and draft for your freedom next month in the Atlantic zone. So thank you all. Let me know what you think in the comment section. The lesson is you have the ability to change anything or circumstance that you don't like. All right. So thank you for watching. I look forward to hearing from you in the comment section. And thank you, Director Paddy. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
Get ready for an evolution in broadcasting. ABC Networks 24 proudly presents Mission 2025, a groundbreaking launch that will change the way you experience television.
Beginning this Saturday, April 19, 2025, ABC Networks 24 ushers in a new era with 24-hour live programming that will keep you informed and inspired around the clock. Witness the power of cutting-edge technology as ABC Amba TV elevates its broadcast standards to the pinnacle of modern-day viewing.
All your favorite shows are back and better than ever, including Undaunted ABC Amba News and military briefings. Plus, explore the rich tapestry of Ambazonia with our Amba history and engage in critical discussions in ethics for an emerging nation. Experience the redefined classics that you love alongside thrilling new shows set to captivate Ambazonians across the globe.
But that's not all. Mission 2025 introduces brand new programming like Global Business News Today, offering in-depth analysis of markets, industrialization, and global trade. Dive into the heartbeat of Ambazonia with County Roots, exploring the sociology and governance from rural to urban landscapes.
Wake up to Ambazonia Arise, your premier morning show delivering news, social media buzz, and newspaper insights to start your day informed and connected.
Join us for Mission 2025, where innovation meets tradition and the future of television in Ambazonia begins, only on ABC Networks 24.
Stay tuned this Saturday as we embark on this thrilling new journey. Don't miss out.
Here comes the dawn of Mission 2025, your window to the world. Starting this Saturday, be a part of it. Subscribe and donate now.